Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Dead Cities Diary. Imagine a beach with the whitest sand you have ever seen. The water is crystal clear and turquoise. The sun is shining brightly. It looks like the perfect paradise. But if you turn your back to the ocean and look at the land, you see something terrifying. You see miles of tall skyscrapers, luxury hotels, and beautiful houses. But there are no people. The windows are broken. The paint is peeling off. Plants are growing through the roofs. There is total silence, except for the sound of the wind and the waves. This is not a movie set for a zombie apocalypse. This is a real place. This is Varosha, located in the city of Famagusta on the island of Cyprus. For nearly 50 years, this massive holiday resort has been a ghost city. It is surrounded by barbed wire fences and signs that say, "Forbidden Zone." Soldiers stand guard to make sure no one enters. Before 1974, this place was one of the most famous and expensive holiday destinations in the entire world. Movie stars and millionaires came here to party. But then in just one single day, everything changed. Time stopped. Today, we are going to tell you the incredible and sad story of Varosha. We will look at its golden days of glory, the war that destroyed it, and what is hiding inside those abandoned buildings today. Welcome to the city frozen in time. To understand the tragedy of Varosha, we first have to understand what it was like before everything went wrong. In the early 1970s, Varosha was not just a beach, it was the place to be. It was often called the French Riviera of Cyprus. It was modern, glamorous, and full of life. It contributed a huge amount of money to the economy of Cyprus. More than half of all the hotels on the entire island were located right here in this one district. The streets were lined with expensive fashion boutiques, art galleries, nightclubs, and restaurants. At night, the city was bright with neon lights and music. It was a playground for the rich and famous. Hollywood legends like Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and Brigitte Bardot were known to visit Varosha. They would sunbathe on the golden sands and stay in the most luxurious hotels, like the King George Hotel and the Argo Hotel. In 1974, the city had a population of about 39,000 people. But during the summer, that number exploded with tens of thousands of tourists from Europe and America. It was a city of the future. They had the newest cars, the latest fashion trends, and modern architecture. Everyone who lived there thought this golden age would last forever. They were busy building even more hotels when the summer of 1974 arrived. No one knew that this would be their last summer in paradise. The island of Cyprus has a complicated history. For a long time, there was tension between the two main groups of people living there, Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots. In July 1974, the political situation exploded. There was a coup, a sudden grab for power, supported by the government of Greece. In response to this, 5 days later, Turkey invaded the island. War had arrived in Cyprus. Fighting broke out across the island, and the Turkish army began to move south toward Famagusta. The people living in Varosha were terrified. They heard the sounds of bombing and gunfire getting closer and closer. On August 14th and 15th, 1974, the situation became critical. The Greek Cypriot population of Varosha knew they had to leave, and they had to leave now. Panic took over the city. People ran out of their houses and hotels. They were so scared that they left everything behind. They thought the fighting would stop in a few days. They thought, we will just go down the road for safety, and we will be back by the weekend. Because they thought they were coming back, they didn't pack bags. They left their clothes in their closets. They left family photos on the walls. There are famous stories about exactly how sudden this was. It is said that in some houses, the tables were set for dinner. In some kitchens, pots of food were left cooking on the stove. In car dealerships, Brand new 1974 model cars were left in the showroom with the keys still inside. They ran for their lives, leaving their entire world behind. But the weekend passed, and they could not return. The Turkish military took control of the area, fenced it off, and declared it a forbidden zone. The residents became refugees in their own country, staring at their homes from a distance, never allowed to enter again. For the next 46 years, Varosha remained completely sealed off. While the rest of the world moved on to the 1980s, the 90s, and the year 2000, Varosha stayed stuck in 1974. Because nobody could enter, the city became a perfect time capsule. It provides us with a haunting picture of what the world looked like at that specific moment in history. Imagine walking into a shop today in Varosha. Inside a clothing store, you would see bell-bottom jeans and fashion from the 70s still hanging on the racks, covered in dust. In the department stores, there are still price tags on the items, written in the old currency. In the basements of car dealerships, there are Toyotas and other cars that have 0 miles on them. They are rusted now, and the tires are flat, but they are brand new vintage cars that were never driven. However, time has not been kind to the buildings. Without humans to fix leaks or paint walls, nature has taken over the city. The beautiful paved streets are now cracked, with grass and bushes growing right through the middle of the road. Vines climb up the sides of the luxury hotels. The metal balconies have rusted and fallen off. Windows have been smashed by storms. Animals have also reclaimed the land. Since there are no humans on the beach, rare sea turtles come to the shore to lay their eggs in the sand. Birds nest in the empty hotel rooms that once cost hundreds of dollars a night. It is a strange mix of beauty and decay. It shows us that if humans disappear, nature will take back the land very quickly. For decades, Varosha was a bargaining chip. This means it was used as a tool in political negotiations. The Turkish side held on to it, hoping to trade it for something else during peace talks. But peace talks failed over and over again. So, the city sat there rotting. For the former residents, this was a special kind of torture. Many of them lived just a few miles away. They could see their own houses from behind the barbed wire fence. They could see their curtains rotting in the window. They could see strangers, soldiers, patrolling their streets. They grew old waiting to go home. Many of them died without ever stepping foot in their living rooms again. The United Nations passed resolutions saying that the city should be given back to its original owners. But these rules were ignored. The fence remained. Signs with pictures of soldiers and guns warned tourists not to take photos. If you tried to take a picture of Varosha from the outside, military guards would shout at you or confiscate your camera. It was one of the most secret and guarded places on Earth. Then, in October 2020, something unexpected happened. The authorities in northern Cyprus, supported by Turkey, decided to partially reopen the coastline of Varosha. For the first time in 46 years, civilians were allowed to walk through the gates. Thousands of people visited. Some were curious tourists who wanted to see the ghost city. But many were the original residents and their children. It was a very emotional day. People walked down the streets crying. They looked at their old homes, which were now ruins. They remembered where they used to play as children, where they went to school, and where they fell in love. However, this reopening is very controversial. The Greek Cypriots and the United Nations were not happy about it because it was done without a peace agreement. The original owners are still not allowed to live there. They can only visit like tourists. Walking through Varosha today feels very strange. The authorities have paved a fresh new road for visitors, and there are even small coffee trucks and bike rental stands. It creates a weird contrast. You can buy a coffee and rent a bicycle while riding past buildings that look like they were bombed. It is widely known now as a destination for dark tourism. Varosha is a reminder of how fragile our lives are. We build cities, we make plans, and we think we are safe. But history shows us that everything can change in a single moment. Today, the future of Varosha is still unsure. Will it be rebuilt? Will the owners ever get their property back? Or will it eventually crumble into dust and disappear into the sea? For now, it remains a silent monument to a war that split an island in two. It is a place where the clock stopped in 1974, leaving behind a ghost city that is haunting, beautiful, and deeply sad. Thanks for watching. If you could visit a ghost city like this, would you? Or is it too spooky for you? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the world's most mysterious places.